And I would like to jump to Japheth now, and in the line of global disruption. And just as the world was recovering from COVID, we then had Russia, Ukraine. There's always something happening. What, in your opinion, are the three key main global disruptions that cut across all sectors, nations, and why should boards pay attention to this? Japheth, thank you.
For many of you who sit on boards or who prepare board papers, you will always, there is that section about macroeconomic environment. And on the boards where I sit, it's been reasonably stable. However, as you say, it is from the frying pan to the fire. You know, when we saw a recovery from COVID, then we got the problems. We call them macroeconomic geopolitics. So this topic here we have been discussing is about what is keeping the directors on the edge, just about to fall off the table. Now, when the CEO is presenting the report and talking about inflation is being manageable, exchange rates have been manageable, the CBR is in fact going down, you know, budgets are okay, cost to income ratio we are managing it, is below 50%, and so on and so forth. We are on target. For those of who work on bonuses are going to flow in and come in. I'm talking about bonuses for staff members and executives. This is not for board members. Never get bonuses, and don't try it, please. So the conversation, and you know, reflecting on this, it's not only the board members who are at the edge about to fall off. The same conversations are going on in homes. Just reflecting on this, I was scribbling here that we talk about there are board meetings at home. Correct. You know, what do we do? Now, some of you, I'm very sorry about you, who had 4 cars, one for kids, one for the wife, one for the husband, one for the other one you don't mention. You know, we are discussing them. So, really, we were very much used. We got used to somehow interest rates being high, exchange rate being volatile. But I can tell you, I did some research. Inflation, we have not been used to high inflation for a very long time. I got figures here. I consulted my colleagues. The last time inflation was over 10% was actually in July 2012. So that's a long time. So now, here you are. We say board members are supposed to be talking about strategy. Board members are supposed to be talking about returns. Board members are supposed to be talking about all these impacts on the P&L, on the balance sheet, on our budgets, on the results that we expect to happen. What impact is that going to have on the stock market? So here come the board members' conversation now has got to say, how do we survive? How do we manage? How do we deal with our plans and the targets? How do we deal with our performance ambitions? How do we deal with the staff who are now, facing inflation of over 10%, where things are changing every day, where fuel is expensive, where everything is costly? How do you deal with that? This is the conversation that is going to be at the board table. And the impact that has on performance, the impact that has on results, the impact that has on all these things that you have planned, all these strategies you have planned, all these acquisitions that you're planning to do, all these mergers that you're planning to do. So as we sit now, if you follow, many will report about the CBR, central bank CBR rate, talk about what is the treasury bill rate. I mean, 1 year treasury bill is at 14%. The last time I checked, it may have done was gone down or up. Now, how are you going to manage now the banks, even those who committed to following the CBR? I mean, the CBR is going up. So what is happening to your flexible loan and so on? So the discussion in the boardroom, you are following this Stanbic Bank does the PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. It was below 50. So what is going on? If you are lending money, are they going to pay? Even the early withdrawal you got from NSSF, you may have planned to do other things. Are you going to be able to do them? So at the board table, Rachel, issues of cost, the economy. How about disruptions in supply chain? Yeah, goods are not. You go to a shop or you go to a pharmacy or go somewhere and you wanted a particular item. They tell you we do not have it in stock. We ordered 6 months ago. It has not yet arrived. So this is a very conversation. It's a conversation about cost. It's a conversation about budgets, conversation about whether strategies need to be, whether you need to be tactical. Senior counsel here was telling us about the challenge that government bodies will have when they have not received, their quarterly release. How do you with that? So the board has got to be all these good. The diversity that we have on the board has got to give us how do we survive in this environment without collapsing and then come back even stronger or even better. How do we change the way we do things? How do we use technology? How do we use outsourcing? How do we use partnerships? So that's a very big conversation that's going on. And we have not had this, as I said, we have not had this type of challenge for about 10 years. I'll be honest. So it's a very big challenge, it's a big thing, and it's keeping the board members on the edge. And those who are able to manage it will be the one that will survive. Unfortunately, others will fall out. And those who do liquidation, probably they may end up doing some business. But board members, you've got to deal with the situation which is new. After successfully navigating the COVID situation, we now have got to navigate the macroeconomic and geopolitics and so on. And Grace talked about the EU. I mean, there is I read things about nuclear. I thought it was ESG, but I said about a nuclear plant being built by Russians, then Ukraine, then how did you vote and so on. That's for another day. Let me stop here.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Japheth. And before we open up for questions, and apologies, we lost time in the start. Japheth, is it all doomsday? There must be something positive, really nice happening on the disruption front.
No, I mean, you see, when my friend Gracia, we do training with him, and he's really very good at risk. But remember, somebody said the Chinese word for risk is opportunity. Yeah. No, when all these things happen, like COVID, I mean, we are talking about the technology companies. I mean, we all know it. You don't have to be a brainer to know what happened to the Zoom share price during the COVID period. So as we see, as these macroeconomic challenges and supply chain challenges come, they create their own opportunities. They are good investment opportunities when the 1 year treasury bill is at 14%. It creates opportunities. So it's not all doom, but what I'm saying, the board has got to be agile. There is a risk here, macroeconomic risk. How do we navigate it, and how do we take advantage of it? What are the opportunities that are created by this? It is a balancing act, but the sharp board, it is a well-diversified board. It's a board that is thinking ahead, that is going to succeed in this environment, which is challenging.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Japheth.